So, listeners, if you've been following along with us, we've been digging into AGI lately,
Yeah.
and it looks like we've stumbled upon some interesting developments. Microsoft
Yeah.
and this company called Qubic. Have you heard of them?
I have, yeah. They're doing some really fascinating work
Yeah.
with CPUs in AI.
And that, I have to admit, caught my eye. I mean,
Yeah.
we typically think GPUs
Right.
when it comes to artificial general intelligence.
Right.
All that heavy lifting, right?
Yeah, it is intriguing. It's like the tech world is kind of rediscovering this
Yeah.
this hidden potential of CPUs.
Yeah.
You've got, on the one hand, Microsoft,
Right.
a giant in the field, right?
For sure.
Rolling out BitNet, their CPU-driven framework
Yeah.
for, boosting AI efficiency. And then on the other side, you've got Qubic,
Right.
pushing the boundaries with their decentralized AGI project,
Yeah.
iGarth, which is also rooted in this CPU-centric approach.
It makes you wonder why these two companies, each with their own distinct AI vision, right?
Totally, are both turning to CPUs for the future. What's the big deal about CPUs all of a sudden?
Well, let's start with Qubic.
Okay.
What's so fascinating about their approach is this thing they call useful proof of work,
Okay.
or uPoW.
Got it.
It essentially allows them to kind of harness the power of CPUs for AI training.
Interesting.
Think of it, I guess, like crowdsourcing computational power,
Right.
Anyone with a computer can contribute to the development of their AGI, AGarth. No need for those expensive, power-hungry GPUs that everybody's always talking about.
I see where you're going with this. It's like opening up AI development to a much wider pool of contributors, a more inclusive approach, right?
Yeah, Qubic is essentially democratizing AI development, right?
Right.
Instead of limiting this work to, a select few with access to expensive hardware,
Right.
they're enabling a global community to participate.
Wow.
That could lead to a much more diverse set of perspectives.
Yeah. And approaches being integrated into AGarth.
That's a pretty powerful idea.
Yeah.
But how does this CPU-driven approach actually work in practice? I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about training complex AI models here.
Right.
Are CPUs really up to the task?
That's where the ingenuity of their uPoW model comes in.
Okay.
Instead of relying on brute force processing power.
Oh, yeah.
Like traditional GPU-driven models, right?
Right.
Qubic utilizes a more distributed approach
Okay.
by breaking down these computational tasks
Yeah.
into smaller chunks that can be processed by individual CPUs.
Right.
They can leverage the collective power of a vast network of computers.
So it's less about individual processing power and more about the combined strength of the network.
Precisely. Think of it like, I don't know, like an ant colony.
Okay.
Each individual ant might not be very strong,
Right.
but together they can achieve these incredible feats.
Yeah.
Quabic's uPoW model operates on a similar principle, harnessing the collective power of, a distributed network of CPUs to train their AI.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And it seems like this focus on CPUs is not just about inclusivity, right?
Right.
It also ties into this
Yeah.
growing emphasis on sustainability in AI development.
Absolutely.
CPUs are generally more energy efficient
Yeah.
compared to GPUs, which aligns with,
For sure.
a more environmentally conscious approach.
Absolutely. And that's where we see Microsoft's BitNet coming into play.
Okay.
They've made some impressive strides in showcasing the efficiency of CPUs for specific AI tasks.
Right.
Their work with 1-bit and ternary computing is particularly noteworthy.
Yeah, I was reading about that. Could you break those concepts down a bit?
Sure.
What exactly are 1-bit and ternary computing, and how do they contribute to the efficiency of BitNet?
So imagine you have a light switch, right? It can be either on or off, representing 1 or 0.
Right.
That's the basic concept of 1-bit computing. It simplifies data representation, reducing the amount of information that needs to be processed.
Got it.
Ternary computing adds a third state.
Okay.
Think of it like a dimmer switch that can be on, off, or somewhere in between.
Right.
This adds more flexibility while still being more efficient than traditional binary computing.
So by using these techniques, Microsoft can achieve significant speed
Exactly.
and energy savings with BitNet, making their AI processes more efficient.
Precisely.
That's amazing.
It's a brilliant example of how, innovation in computational methods can lead to significant advancements in AI efficiency.
Wow.
And, while Microsoft will still utilize GPUs for certain tasks, their exploration of CPU-centric AI signals a potential shift in the industry.
It's really exciting to see this movement toward a more sustainable approach to AI.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, how does Microsoft's approach differ from Qubic? I mean, they're both focusing on CPUs, but their overall objectives seem quite different.
That's a great observation. The key distinction, I think, lies in their approach to control and access.
Okay.
Microsoft, with BitNet, is focusing on optimizing efficiency within their own ecosystem.
Right.
It's a more centralized approach,
where
they maintain control over the development and deployment of their AI.
Okay, so BitNet is about creating a more efficient AI pipeline within a controlled environment.
Exactly.
And what about Qubic?
Qubic, on the other hand, is taking a more radical approach with AGarth.
Okay.
They're not just aiming for efficiency. They're aiming for a complete decentralization of AI development. By relying solely on CPUs and their uPoW model, they're essentially opening up the doors for anyone to contribute to the evolution of their AGI.
That's where their community-driven approach comes in, right?
Yeah,
There's essentially building a global network of collaborators to develop AGarth together.
Right.
That sounds incredibly ambitious.
It is, and it highlights a fundamental difference in their philosophies.
Okay.
While Microsoft is seeking to kind of streamline AI development within their own infrastructure, Qubic is envisioning a future where AI is developed by a global community, free from the control of any single entity.
This raises some interesting questions about how these different approaches might play out in the long run, huh?
Yeah.
What are the implications of a more centralized versus a decentralized approach to AI development?
Right.
And how might these differences influence the types of AI that emerge from each model?
That's a discussion worth diving into. Let's explore some of these potential implications and see if we can, unpack the complexities of this evolving AI landscape.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to think about the implications of these two very different approaches, right?
Yeah.
If Microsoft is all about efficiency and control, what does Quibic's decentralized model bring to the table? What are the potential advantages of building an AGI through this global collaboration?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting, right?
Yeah.
Imagine a scenario where we're facing this complex global challenge. Something like climate change. Where the solutions require just this massive amount of data and processing power. In a decentralized model like Quibic's, you could potentially have thousands, even millions of computers working together to analyze data, model scenarios, develop solutions.
So it's like harnessing the collective intelligence of a global network.
Exactly.
To tackle problems that might be too big or complex for any one organization to handle on their own.
Yeah, precisely.
But, I mean, let's be real. There must be challenges to managing such a vast and distributed network.
For sure.
I mean, how do you ensure the quality and integrity of the contributions? How do you even prevent bad actors from hijacking the system?
Those are very valid concerns. And Qubic has actually been developing mechanisms to address them. One of the key aspects of their uPoW model is that it incorporates this validation process. Every contribution made to the network has to be verified by other participants before it's accepted.
Interesting.
This helps to kind of filter out erroneous or malicious inputs and ensure that the system, remains reliable.
So it's almost like a system of checks and balances.
Exactly.
Where the community itself acts as a safeguard against manipulation or errors.
And because everything is transparent on the blockchain, it's difficult for anyone to tamper with the data or the code without being detected. This transparency also fosters trust and accountability among the participants.
But even with those safeguards in place, coordinating the efforts of such a diverse group of contributors must be a huge undertaking.
It is.
How does Qubic manage the logistics of this global collaboration? What are the tools and processes they're using to keep everyone on the same page?
They've developed this sophisticated platform that facilitates communication task allocation and progress tracking across the entire network, right? It's designed to be user-friendly. So even individuals with limited technical expertise can contribute effectively.
That's really impressive.
Yeah.
It sounds like Qubic is not only pioneering new technologies, but also fostering a new kind of collaborative culture.
Yeah, for sure.
Around AI development.
It's one of the most exciting aspects of the project. They're not just building an AGI, they're building a community around it. A community that's committed to developing this technology in a responsible and beneficial way.
It's a powerful vision.
Yeah.
But as we've discussed, there are also challenges associated with this decentralized approach. Like, what are some of the potential drawbacks or limitations that Qubic might face as they continue to develop AGARTH?
One potential challenge is scalability. As the network grows larger and more complex, maintaining efficiency and coordination becomes increasingly difficult. They'll need to constantly refine their platform and infrastructure to handle the growing demands of the system.
So managing the growth of this like global brain is going to be crucial to their success.
Absolutely. Another challenge they'll face is ensuring that AGARTH remains aligned with human values and goals as it evolves. With such a diverse set of contributors, it's important to establish clear ethical guidelines and mechanisms for monitoring the AI's development.
That's a critical point. Even with the best intentions, there's always a risk that an AGI could develop in ways that we didn't anticipate or that might not align with our values.
Absolutely. And that's why Qubic is placing such a strong emphasis on transparency and accountability. They're actively engaging with ethicists, philosophers, social scientists to develop safeguards that will help ensure that AGARTH remains beneficial and aligned with human well-being.
So it's not just about the technology itself. It's about the values and principles that guide its development and deployment.
Exactly. And that's a conversation that needs to happen, not just within Qubic, but across the entire AI community. As we move closer to developing AGI, it's crucial that we have these, open and honest discussions about the potential risks and benefits of this technology and how we can ensure that it serves humanity in a positive way.
I'm really struck by the contrast between Microsoft's approach, which is all about optimization within a controlled environment, and Quibic's vision of like a decentralized, community-driven AI.
It's really interesting, right? It seems like they represent two very different paths towards the future of AGI.
They do. And it'll be fascinating to see how these two approaches evolve in the coming years.
For sure.
Will Microsoft's focus on efficiency and control ultimately lead to a more powerful but potentially less accessible AI? Or will Quibic's decentralized model succeed in creating an AGI that's more transparent, inclusive, and aligned with human values?
Those are the big questions, aren't they?
They are big questions, and I'm not sure anyone has the answers yet. But it's these kinds of questions that make this whole field so fascinating.
It is. It's like we're standing at the precipice of a new era in AI, right? And the choices we make today will shape the future of this technology and its impact on society.
It really is a fascinating time to be following the development of AGI.
It is.
I mean, we're seeing these innovative approaches emerge, like Quibic's decentralized model, and Microsoft's exploration of CPU-centric AI. Makes you wonder what other unexpected advancements might be just around the corner.
It's like we're at a crossroads. And the decisions made today will determine the trajectory of AGI for, years to come.
And it's not just about the technical aspects, is it? It's about the societal implications, the ethical considerations, the potential impact on humanity as a whole.
Absolutely. We need to be having these conversations now, not after the fact. We need to be thinking about the kind of future we want to create with this technology. And how we can ensure that it serves humanity in a positive and beneficial way.
So where do we go from here? What's the takeaway for someone who's been listening to this deep dive into CPUs, AGI, and the future of decentralized intelligence?
I think the The key message is this. The future of AGI is not predetermined.
Okay.
It's not something that's going to like happen to us.
Right.
It's something we're actively creating. Yeah. The choices we make today, the questions we ask, the conversations we have, all of these things will shape the direction of this technology.
So it's not just about being informed.
Right.
It's about being engaged.
Exactly.
It's about thinking critically about, the potential implications of AGI.
Yeah.
And considering what role we want to play in its development.
Exactly. And that brings me to a final thought-provoking question for you to ponder.
All right, I'm ready.
In a world where AGI is becoming a reality, what kind of future do you want to see?
What kind of world do you want to live in?
Yeah.
And how can you contribute to making that vision a reality?
It's a big question.
It is.
But it's one worth asking ourselves.
Okay, sir.
Because ultimately the future of AGI is in our hands.
Well, that's a wrap on this deep dive.
Great talking with you.
Yeah, this was great. We hope this exploration of CPUs, AGI, and decentralization has given you some food for thought.
Hopefully.
And maybe even inspired you to take a more active role in shaping the future of this incredible technology.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.